before Harris took the stage at the Eclipse,
The
ellipse. Listen.
Remember when Trump looked at the eclipse and enjoyed it? Remember that? They didn't
No,
look at
but
the ellipse.
I look at, the ellipse.
No glasses.
No glasses. But this is actually what happened. President Biden got a lot of blowback over these particular comments about who's Madison Square at his rally, what went on. So the president, current president, said something and then everybody lost their minds. Take a look.
And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American.
Now, he was quick to clarify that he was really referring to the hateful rhetoric as garbage. But it didn't stop our MAGA friends from seizing upon it.
Yeah.
Pearl clutch. Let's look.
I have breaking news for you, Mr. President. You may not have heard this. Just moments ago, Joe Biden stated that our supporters are garbage.
Remember Hillary? She said deplorable. And then she said irredeemable, right? But she said deplorable. That didn't work out. Garbage, I think, is worse, right? But he doesn't know. You have to please forgive him. Please forgive him, for he not knoweth what he said.
First of all, he clarified his comments, but let me be clear. I strongly disagree with any criticism of people based on who they vote for. You heard my speech last night and continuously throughout my career. I believe that the work that I do is about representing all the people, whether they support me or not.
So they're working very hard to spin this to some crazy end, but this is my problem. Let me explain to y'all. I don't understand why all the pearl clutching over Biden's statement, why they all have a problem with what Biden said, when what this other guy has said.
J.D. Vance?
No,
the comedian.
I'm gonna
She's
watch
talking
the
about the
clip.
man whose name she doesn't
We're
recognize.
like a garbage can. You know, it's the first time I've ever said that. We're like a garbage can. We're like a garbage can. It's like we're a giant garbage can.
Yeah. So
He's talking about
the country.
The country.
The entire
Yeah.
American
Garbage can.
population.
Right.
So, and what about this? Because this is, since we're doing this, he seems to be able to, let's see all the stuff he's talked about, what he's called Democrats. Evil, dangerous, Marxist, communist, fascist, sick people, the enemy within. And he said all that just this week.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why you clutching your pearls, because you're trying to make something out of a tongue slip. Yeah. Hillary called these folks deplorable. Yeah, okay. It happened, but it turns out...
For months, we've been hearing how Joe Biden is in dementia, that he's old, he's doddering, he can't remember. All of a sudden, he's clear as a bell.
Okay, but I'm going to take the under on this one. I'm going to take the under on this one. I thought Kamala Harris knocked it out of the park with her closing message, and this stepped on it because she is running on unifying the country, being a country for all Americans, including the 74 million people who voted for Donald Trump last time. Yeah. I appreciate that Joe Biden immediately and swiftly walked it back. Donald Trump does not walk back comments, but the profile of the undecided voter right now is like a lot of people in my family. Life felt a little better under Donald Trump. I kind of think he's a jerk, but I don't know. I don't know if I trust that other side. I don't feel like they really care about me. So when they hear the president of the United States, who was Kamala Harris's running mate, calling them garbage, they're like, see, they're not with us. He's not.
But here's my question.
I understand his walk back, but that is how it's going to be blasted. Tens of millions of people who believe that.
Blasted, but I don't understand. Here's my thing. We have all watched the last 4 or 5 years. We've seen everything. We've heard everything that's been said about people. regardless of who it is. We've heard everything. So when you say, I'm undecided and I don't know if I trust them, and now they're saying this about us, how do you, not you, but how do people think I feel when I listen to some clown talk about, you know, Kamala's pimps?
No, trust me.
You know,
there is a completely unfair standard with Donald Trump.
Count with the people you're
I'm saying
talking
there's an
about?
unfair standard where his supporters have just decided it's baked in when he insults people, but they do take offense. Deplorables did matter. That comment from Hillary Clinton did matter. But I would say that Joe Biden is still the president. I'd like him to be working on getting the hostages back. He does not need to be campaigning. She's got Governor Shapiro. She's got Tim Walz.
Yeah, but everybody keeps saying, where is he? That's why he
I think there's a lot to do for the country.
The reason that comedian was received the way he was is the messages of the jokes tracked with the campaign.
Right.
It tracks with how he has run and how he has spoken.
Yeah.
When you say this about President Biden, I've always kind of liked him personally when I've met him, but also because he kind of sounds like your dad or your like they say something and he probably did mean that. I'm not even going to explain it away. In that moment, he was probably saying he was pissed. That's what he was. Wait, real quickly though. But that does not track with what he says all the other times. That's what Kamala Harris says. So you kind of have to watch and gut check which one makes sense and which one doesn't.
But it's intellectually dishonest for his supporters to suddenly be offended by President Biden's slip up, because I do believe it was a slip up, after all that their guy has said. He called all of America a garbage can. All of America.
For the record, we all actually agree on this. I think that there's a complete cognitive dissonance. If Trump says something crazy and we dismiss it, but we all get outraged when someone else says. I just think to move beyond the era of Trump, you need leaders who aren't going to call names, who aren't going to play to his level. And that's why she did it.
But to the point that she made about comedy, I'm interested in that subject. So when I said something before, you all laughed and clapped because it was about the doddering Joe, and now they say he's lucid, right? You all laughed at that.
Yeah.
The reason you laughed at it is because it tracks with your beliefs. At the same, because you agree with me.
Yeah.
When what she's talking about, that comedian was talking to an audience that totally agreed with him.
Yes.
When he called the Puerto Ricans a bunch of garbage or the country is garbage. That's her point. It's very important to figure that out about comedy.
Well, and the bottom line is, didn't they book him because
that group was with him.
Yeah, and they booked him. His campaign booked him and vetted him. They're saying that they didn't, but there's reporting that they did not only vet him, he was going to call the vice president a vulgar female slur. And they made him edit that out.
But they let the rest of it stay.
They let the rest of it stay. So they knew very well what they had.
Right.
He also said he didn't know the comedian. He also said he didn't know Alyssa.
But then he proceeded to speak about where I sit at the table in great
And by the way,
he's
J.D.
watching,
Vance, the
which is
great
creepy.
sage, also said, get over it when it happened to them, remember?
Well, yes, and I like to think that I'm very mellow when it comes to, okay, I get it. But I've gotten to the place where, you know, because we have to always make sure on this show that we're as balanced as we can be. Sometimes we're not as balanced as people would like us to be, but that's our job to try to be balanced, just to give everything. But sometimes you hear stuff, and I don't want to be balanced. I want the respect that I try to give them. I want it back. I want to be respected. I will give respect. But this stuff, you know, and those clowny people who came, you know, like Rudy Giuliani.
Yes.
What are you doing outside? You got work to do. You got no place to live.
You don't have any place to live.
He does not.
You got money you got to pay back.
What are you doing? There's stuff you got to be, you know, I want
his
them
hair,
to
for instance.
be more,
Less of that.
I want them to do the people's work. And I know it's a little much to ask, but that's what I want. I want it from the Democrats, I want it from the Republicans, I want it from the independents. Do the work of the people. Take your other BS and do it over there, but get to work.